You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final edition of Coffee with Graeme for 2021 here on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme is brought to you by our lovely sponsors in TOVI Hockey, Caisse Financial Group, Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, Evolve Green, and AETi. And folks, like I said, last show of 2021, I guess I want to start off by wishing everyone happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. The big day coming up on Saturday. Hopefully everyone has a safe and wonderful holiday this season. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, hopefully you guys have a great week, of spending time with family. I know that people are on Christmas break right now. Well, a lot of people are. I know a lot of people still have to work during the break, but for those of you that have it off, wanna wish you all a happy holiday, and for those who are working, a happy and safe holiday as well. But let's get into who the guests are in tonight's edition of the show, and we're gonna have three guests joining the show tonight. And this first guest joining me is number 26 defenseman for the St. James Jr Canucks in the MMJHL, Brady Whitley. Brady joins me on the show tonight to talk about the season that he's having statistically. He was named the MMJHL's Defenseman of the Month for November with 3 goals, 9 assists, and 12 points in 9 games played in the month of November. I asked him about that, as well as the team this season. They are currently 21-1-3 on an 11-game winning streak, and they are first place in the MMJHL up until this point in the season. And also ask Brady about looking in a bit to 2022, the things he wants to improve on heading into the new year as this season goes along, as well as what he feels that this team is going to have to continue to improve on to continue having the success that they've had here in the 2021 portion of their schedule. So without further ado, let's roll the intro for one last time here in 2021 on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. And coming up after the intro, Brady Whitley, number 26 defenseman for the St. James Jr Canucks, joins the show first here on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV. Me now here on Coffee with Graeme is number 26 defenseman for the St. James Jr Canucks in the MMJHL, Brady Whitley. Brady, thanks for coming on the show here tonight. The team doing pretty darn good this season. 21 wins, 1 loss, 3 extra time losses on an 11-game win streak. The feeling around the room right now, the boys, how you guys been clicking as of late in these 11 past games with an 11-game win streak.
It's great to show up to the rink when you're winning and on an 11-game win streak, and all the boys are clicking, and it's going good, and the room's very upbeat and joyful right now, and that's how it should be.
Let's talk about that, just the room. Did it take a lot of time for you guys to come together and click? I know a lot of returning players coming on this team, but some new additions as well. What's the room situation been like throughout the whole season?
I think we're from last year, we're a pretty tight-knit group, and the year before. But even the new guys, we hang out outside of the rink a lot, so it's pretty easy to make friends and get close with everybody. So after about a month or two, then everybody was very close.
What's it been like playing with, I assume it's your brother and Mac Whitley, of course, the team captain of this team. He recently played 100 games in the MMJHL. Just how he's been able to, lead this group of boys this season, wearing the C.
He's a great leader, and he leads by example, and there's not one person on the ice that works harder than him, and he's doing a great job, and everybody looks up to him. So I think that's a big reason why our team's doing so good this year.
For you, in November, you were named Defenseman of the Month for the month of November, registering 12 points, 3 goals, 9 assists, and 9 games played. Just talk about, what that was like receiving that honor as being recognized as the top defenseman for the month.
That was awesome. It was big. I've never gotten a award like that before in my life, so it was pretty shocking, but it was just everything clicked that month, and pucks were going in, and our team were scoring, and my teammates were putting the puck in the net when I was passing it to them. So everything just clicked, and it was just a good month for me.
Well, not only in the month of November, you had a great month offensively, but, throughout the whole season, you're a point-per-game player so far in the regular season. You're 2 points away from matching your career high set back in your rookie season in 2019-2020 when you put up 9 goals, 17 assists for 26 points. Just talk about your offensive ability at this point, the consistency you've been able to show in your second full season, hoping to have your second full season.
I think it's the confidence. I'm very more confident in carrying the puck and shooting the puck also. I think my shot's gone a lot better. And I think once you get the positions to play power play and the spots where you can get points and stuff, that really allows you to become a better player. And there's it was just good for me this year.
Yeah, for sure. And you've definitely shown that you can put the puck in the net so far with 6 goals, and can also feed your teammates with 18 assists so far. Talking about your game in the D zone, you talk about confidence, how confident you are so far in your own end out there, being relied upon to not only play, heavy 5-on-5 minutes, but on the penalty kill as well.
Yeah, no, it's I've changed my game to more of a two-way player. Played lots of penalty kill this year so far, and I think I put my mind to being a better defensive player, and that's helped my game a lot this year.
Let's talk about the team now, Brady. As mentioned, you guys are first place in the league, 21 wins, 1 loss, 3 extra time losses. You guys are on an 11-game win streak. We'll get into the win streak more as this interview continues here, goes along. But, 128 goals for, first in the league for this team. About the firepower that this team has up front this season.
Yeah, no, it's we have a ridiculous team this year. We have so much skill and young skill, and I think we have the great line combinations. Everybody knows their role, and yeah, I think everyone's working hard. Everyone wants the ring at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. The goal heading into every season, right? Trying to chase that elusive championship, which you guys are set up in a pretty good position to do so at this point. If you guys continue to play like you guys have been playing in the 2021 portion of the season. But looking back in 2019-2020, you guys had 139 goals for as a team, which ranked 8th in the league this season. And, on a whole nother level at this point with 128 goals for already for first in the league. Talk about, where you've seen the biggest change. Has it been just the pieces you guys have added, this group gelling and getting to know each other a bit more this season? What's been the biggest reason for just this rise in offense like we've seen so far from this team?
I think it's a lot of our younger guys are very skilled and can put the puck in our net, and that was always our problem in the years before, is getting lots of goals. And this year it seems like that's the least of our worries, is putting the puck in the net. But I think everybody coming together and just how dominant we are when we're playing, just in every aspect of the game is. I think that's why we're having so much success in the offensive zone.
Yeah, and a lot of depth out there as well. Like, not only you guys got Griffin Height leads the league in team and goals, 20, Curtis Luke with 18 goals, rookie Wayne with 16, and some other players as well. 18 different goal scorers on the team so far this season. So pretty darn good year offensively for the Canucks so far. Defensively, it's looking very solid as well. Only 71 goals against so far, third least in the league. Talk about how this team has been able to continue playing solid defense into this year in 2021-2022.
I think we have a very solid D-core, if not the best in the league. And I think our D-core make it a priority to not let any goals go in or easy stuff happen in the D zone. And I think our wingers and forwards are doing a better job of coming back and helping out this year. And once all that starts to happen, it's a lot easier in the defensive zone.
Yeah, and goaltending has been huge for you guys as well. And Noah Gilbert having a fantastic season so far, 14-1-3 on the year, and 9.6%, 58 goals against average and a shutout. Talk about what it's been like to see him taking strides in his game even more this season this time around.
Oh yeah, he's amazing goalie, and he's a gamer. He shows up for the games, and he's unbelievable. It's amazing that we have him and we're not playing against him.
Yeah, for sure. It's always great when you're able to have that goaltender on your side, right? The type of goaltender that Noah is. Going into the season for this team, you guys ranked about middle pack in both categories, 21.1% on the power play and 80.2% on the penalty kill. Talk about this power play this season, because I know a while back I saw the percentage was a bit lower. It rose a bit to end off the 2021 portion of the season. Talk about how this power play has come along this season so far.
Yeah, our power play is getting better and better every time. It's there was just a lot of new people on it to start the year, so it was harder for everybody to click. And I think now that we've had our lines and everybody's getting the system and playing with each other and practicing more, that it's just starting to click more and people are doing their jobs and it's going good.
And obviously, you've had a chance to play on the power play, and you've also had a chance to play on the penalty kill, right? And this penalty kill at 80.2%, fifth in the league, as mentioned before. Talk about, what you've seen in this penalty kill so far when you guys have been able to have success shutting down teams when they've had the man advantage.
Yeah, our first couple games of the year, our penalty kill was not too good. We had a pretty bad percentage, but then after that, it's been very good. And I think we all are blocking shots and we're all buying in and we all do the little things to make sure the puck gets out and take a hit or something like that.
Let's move into 11 games now. I'm not going to say all the games how they went because it take quite a while with 11 games won in a row for you guys. But from what I've noticed, you guys have gotten it done, whether it's blowing things out, winning in close games done extra time. You guys have done it all throughout this win streak and have also beaten a team like the Railers, who were, definitely looking to be one of those top teams near the end of the season. Talk about, how huge that's been for you guys, not only to win convincingly, but able to, battle and win these close games in these 11 games you guys have won in a row.
Yeah, no, it's we've had to come back from losing by 2-3 goals before, and it just shows a lot about our character. We don't give up, and we all want to win very bad, and it just shows.
Talk about the most recent game against the Pembina Valley Twisters, one of the top teams in the league, as well as they're currently in third place right now in the league. Talk about how that game went and how nice it was to, finish off with that 11-game streak heading into the new year of 2022.
Yeah, no, it was a tough game. It's always hard going out to Morris and off playing on first period with bus legs, and but I think our team came out and we weren't scared because they're pretty physical, and we just, I think, outskill and outworked them. I think we were just a harder working team, and we got the job done. And Noah Gilbert played amazing, and it was good.
You guys sit in first place at the end of the 2021 portion of the schedule. Obviously, a lot more season to go, a lot more time to fine-tune the game heading into playoffs. But at this point, looking back at it, a lot of great things have happened for this team, but always things you guys want to work on. What are going to be the biggest things you guys are planning to work on to continue to have the type of success that we've seen so far in the season into 2022?
I think our team needs to work on our discipline a little bit. Sometimes we take not too smart penalties, but once we take that out of the game and we're not chirping the refs or anything like that, then we're flying and no one can stop us.
And last question for you here, Brady. You've had a great offensive season so far. You've been really good in your own end so far defensively. What are some things that you want to continue to work on your game to improve even more as the season goes along here?
I'm going to keep working on the defensive zone and doing the little things, that taking hits and make sure the puck gets out, make it easier for the forwards. And also, I think on power play, I would like to move the puck faster across the ice and maybe get a couple more shots, maybe a slap shot in there. But this year's been going good, and I just hope we keep it up. I keep it up, and I'll be good.
Yeah, it would be awesome to see you guys continue to, continue the success that you guys have had, see how far this winning streak can go in terms of if you guys can continue to keep that winning streak going. But Brady, best of luck to you and the team heading into the latter half of the season into 2022 and playoffs. And with it being Christmas in 2 days, I want to wish you, the rest of the Canucks family, and just you and your loved ones a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Thanks, Brady. Thanks for having me on the show. Number 26, Brady Whitely, defenseman of the St. James Jr Canucks, joining me on this edition. And Brady Whitely, number 26, defenseman for the St. James Jr Canucks, joining me on the show here first on the final edition of Coffee with Graeme for 2021. Just want to apologize to all of you that listened to that interview with the sound difficulties we were having. There was some feedback coming in on Brady's side of things. Couldn't really do anything about it. The sound was a bit muffled, but that's just the way she goes sometimes, as the old saying goes. But in terms of when the St. James Jr Canucks team will be in action next, they'll start off their 2022 portion of their schedule on January 7th with a rematch of the last game that they played this past Sunday against the Pembina Valley Twisters. They'll be going up against the Pembina Valley Twisters, and I do believe that let's see where this game will be played. I'm pretty sure that it will be played at home for this team. Yep, at Keith Bodley Arena. So next time this team will be on the ice, the Junior Canucks will be January 7th against the Pembina Valley Twisters, and then they'll also have a game 2 days later on January 9th against the Fort Garry Twins, as St. James looking to continue the great success they've had so far, going 21-1-3 in the first part of their season in 2021. So coming up after the break, folks, we're going to be having Seth Rach joining the show on this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop to talk about the year of 2021 for the Pembina Valley Hawks, U18 AAA female team, here on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after the break.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance. Quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
And it's this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme with Seth Rach. For the final time here in 2021, we'll be doing this segment. Seth, we've done quite a few segments up until this point. Pretty crazy. It's coming to an end here in 2021, but looking on to the new year after this as well.
Yeah, it's surprising. This year's gone by pretty fast. Hasn't really given us any time to breathe. But yeah, it's cool. We're on the last episode of the year, so let's have fun.
Yeah, and we're doing something a bit different. Of course, there's going to be no games played on the network this weekend. Of course, with Christmas on Saturday, players taking a holiday break throughout. And we'll be back here on ASTV back in 2022 to be broadcasting games. So Seth is going to have a lot more to preview and break down coming up in the new year, but we're going to do something similar that we did 2 weeks ago with Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, where we had Seth take a look back at all three teams in the academy, their 2021 portion of their season. We're going to do something similar, but with the Pembina Valley Hawks U18 AAA female team. Seth, this is a team that is in fifth place at the end of 2021. They have an 8-9 record, 55 goals for, which is third in the league, and then 52 goals against, which ranks fifth most given up in the league, or fifth least given up in the league. But just looking back at it, the way that this 2021 half of the schedule went for the Pembina Valley Hawks.
Yeah, they've been pretty even team throughout the whole year as far as wins and losses go. They're hovering right around 500, and we've seen a lot of good things from them, especially being able to come up with an upset win over some of the stronger teams in the division, and they've also had some losses where I'm sure that they would have hoped for a better outcome in, but this team's been pretty good this year, and they've had there's been areas of all parts of their game that has been very good to watch, and this is a good team.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that we'll be talking about is stuff that we've mentioned. Well, you've mentioned so many times here on the segment about their offense, their defense, their special teams, their goaltending. But talking about the way that this team is coached, something that we haven't really talked about before, the way Dana Bell has been able to, utilize the pieces on this team to the best of their abilities out there so far.
Yeah, I really like the way he's used his whole team so far this year. He coaches a very I'm assuming he expects this team to be reliable on both ends, and they've certainly showed their capability of doing that this year. All lines that they roll get an even amount of time split among them, and and they like to split the talent up as well. Having multiple like really spread the wealth, I guess, around the lineup. You've seen a lot of the more offensive players. We see them play together, but they also play with some of the defensive players. And I just really like the way he runs his lines, and I like the way he goes about the game with his team too, making sure really to try and play a more balanced game. And I think it's worked out for them pretty good so far this year.
Yeah, and it also helps when you're able to rely on a player like Abby Bordadouille, who not only leads her team in points and goals as well, and assists as well. She has 26 points, 17 goals, 9 assists. But looking at the stats here, Seth, in the whole league, Abby Bordadouille leads the whole league in points. She leads the league in goals as well. And looking at her assist totals, the screen can load here, she's not quite as high, but pretty high up there in that race for the assist leaders in the MFHL. But just talking about the impact that a player like Abby Bordadouille has had on the lineup this season, how impressive she has been for you when you've watched her game in and game out when we've covered them.
Yeah, she's been an excellent player this year. And it feels like every game that we do, we're talking about, wow, look at this amazing thing that she just did in this game. Or like, look at that goal she just scored. And then nothing better than that game a few weeks ago that we covered where she got a natural hat trick in the third period. It's just very impressive year for her so far. And all things seem to be going right for her. And man, she's a very important player to this team. And, she has an A for a reason, not only because she has all this skill, but because she's a good leader as well. And, you can tell that the girls on this team really rally behind her. They really get behind her whenever she's playing good. If she's having a really good game, odds are her teammates are having a good game as well. So everything she does on the ice is just really good. And her teammates definitely benefit from her playing good as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I know that earlier on in the year, I said I thought Quinn McLaren was the best player on this team. I think that she's one of the best players on this team, but Abby Bordadouille, I don't think there's any debate anymore that she is the best player on this Hawks team. So with that being said, would you say that she is by far, in terms of the team awards, this team's unanimous MVP so far this season, and Abby Bordadouille?
Yeah. Definitely MVP so far in the year for her. There's some other players on this team that really, that play hard, and they definitely earn, some of that as well. But, Abby Bordadouille, I'm just looking at her total game stats right here. In 37 games, she has 30 goals, which that's pretty good. That's a pretty good. I would love to have 30 goals in 37 games, but that would never happen. But she's an excellent player and definitely the MVP so far.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Seth, she wears an A on this team, of course. Quinn McLaren wears the C for this team on the back end, as well as her player that she's been playing, out there on a pairing with, and Emily Foster wears an A for the team. And Maia Pierce, second year forward for this Hawks team, has an A as well. Talk about just this leadership group so far this year. What you found that they've done really well out there as leaders for this team.
Yeah, I think they've done a very good job of motivating each other too when they're on the bench. You often we mention it a lot while we're covering the games, but we always talk about how loud and active the bench is for the Hawks. They're always in the game. Every time their players come off from a hard working shift, they're jumping and giving each other high fives, hugs, and it's very good to see. And these leaders on there are some of the drivers when it comes to congratulating their teammates. Every shift, you'll see. Quinn McLaren, after a good play by one of her forwards, they score a goal. She's like the first one to go over there and congratulate them. Or, this leadership team this leadership group for this team has just been excellent. And I think all the players on the team that aren't leader or that don't have letters can agree that these leaders on the team have done an excellent job.
Yeah, and obviously, great leaders on this team. But like you said, Seth, the whole bench gets each other fired up. And that's what I think is a great thing about, sports in general is even if you're not wearing a letter, you could still be a type of leader out there, even if you aren't recognized with a C or the A. But talk about, just this whole team, how they're able to come together and motivate each other to try to get the best out of each other so far.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. Every time we do hear stuff, we hear their bench being active in the play. I can't help it. It just brings a smile to my face because, I love you love seeing good teamwork out there. You love seeing all these other things, but man, when it comes to just players sticking up for each other and really just being happy for each other whenever something good happens to one of their teammates, it's just a great thing to see. And there's not much for me to really say. I just really like it. I really like to see this cohesive unit of all these players just playing for each other and not they're playing for the logo. They all are playing for the logo on the front. You can definitely see that, and I think it's been great to see that all year.
No doubt about it. And, we're going to continue talking about the Hawks, their 2021 portion of the season, what you've liked from them so far, maybe some things that you feel might need improvement coming up here. We'll dive into the forwards some more, as well as the defense on this team, the defensive side of things, as well as the goaltenders, and talk some special things and a whole lot else here on the final edition of Seth's Inside Scoop with Seth Rach here on Coffee with Graeme for 2021. Stick with us here on Seth's Inside Scoop for more after the break. Inside Soup here on Coffee with Graeme and Seth. Before we continue here, I see that you've added some new jerseys to your background there. The late legend Dale Hawerchuk in the middle there, wearing my favorite number 10 throughout his career, as well as an elite goal scorer in Kyle Connor. I like what you did with the setup this week, man.
Yeah, that Hawerchuk jersey is actually my dad's. I got it for him for Father's Day, and he actually played a fun hockey game against Dale Hawerchuk one time, and when he scored a goal against that team, Dale Hawerchuk was on the other team, and he gave my dad a high five. And my dad's loved Dale Hawerchuk ever since then. He thought that was one of his I think best moments, being able to score and get a high five from Dale Hawerchuk.
Yeah, what a moment. Getting a high five from a legend, all-time great Winnipeg Jet. Just so sad that Dale Hawerchuk is unfortunately not here with us in the world anymore. But, pretty awesome experience for your dad there, Seth, to be able to experience that, getting a high five from a legend in Dale Hawerchuk. But let's move away from that and continue talking about the Pembina Valley Hawks. Talked about Abby Bordedwy early on in the show here about, how much she's meant to this team. But what about the rest of this forward group? How they've been able to contribute to this offense that has been put up by the Hawks so far this season.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with their forward group this so far this year. They got just a very deep team, and every single player on this forward core, this whole team really, but we're talking about the forward core here. Every single player on this forward core, they all have a job to do, and they all do it pretty good. Whether it's, like we talked about, Abby Bordedwy or Cambry Martins, Caitlin Anderson, Annika Braun, Jessica Anderson, some of these players, they'll put up a lot of points, but you look down the lineup and you look at some other players like Ava Dalbozic, Marissa Fair, Maya Pierce. These are some players that are very, very good at playing some good two-way hockey, really trying to force the play and play as aggressive as possible. And, really get in on that forecheck. And their forward group has just been very impressive from top to bottom.
Yeah, and this is a team that plays with a lot of speed and can be heavy on the forecheck. Is those some of the biggest things that you've noticed about the way this team plays offensively? Is playing off of their strengths, using their speed, as well as having a good, solid, heavy forecheck, as well as getting a lot of shots on net as well.
Yeah, this is definitely that. Those are definitely the things I've noticed from them. They're just a very strong team up front, and sometimes they get like the only thing that really hurts this team is when when the game first starts and the other team comes out harder. Then I've noticed it's been a little bit. Well, I know we're going to get a little bit more into that, so I don't really want to talk about their things to work on quite yet. But this forward core, excellent from top to bottom.
Yeah, and a lot of skill, a lot of fast players on this forward group for this Pembina Valley Hawks team so far this season. But switching over to the defensive side of things, obviously you got players like Quinn McLaren on the back end, Emily Foster, Erica Fiala as well, and many other defensemen on this team. Talk about, what you've liked from this D-corps, looking back at, the 2021 portion of their schedule that they've played.
Yeah, one thing I've noted right from the beginning with this D-corps on the Hawks is how good they are in their own zone. They not all of them will put up these amazing point totals but you don't really need them to because of how well they play in their own end and how well they really help the goaltenders on this team keep the puck out of the net by making those sacrifice plays like blocking shots, going into the corners, digging for that puck and really just making the smart move. You never see them really try to force the pucks up through the middle. Normally it's very safe the way they play. They play a very safe style of hockey and just an excellent deep defense core as well.
Yeah, and obviously there is a lot of skill on that D-corps, but what do you feel like is the reasoning for them giving up as many goals as they have so far here, Seth? Obviously, there's a lot of great talent in the MFHL, but they got 55 goals so far this year, which is third in the league, but only 3 less goals against, almost making it even for them in goals for and goals against with 52 goals against. What have you noticed in terms of the problems that this team might have been having in the 2021 portion of their schedule?
Yeah, I think that just comes down to some of those goals scored. I've noticed in our games when they have gotten when they have started out a little bit slow. So oftentimes teams can come on them early, and that's when I noticed a lot of other teams have done their damages. Early in that first half of the game where maybe they catch the Hawks a bit off guard and they get hemmed in their zone a little bit a few times, and teams just take advantage of that and score some goals. So yeah, I think it's mostly just the way they've been. They haven't been able to. Some games they aren't able to find their legs, and I think that's been their Achilles heels when it comes to losing some of these games, because they are close with some of the better teams in this league. They've beaten some of the better teams in this league. We have seen that. So, they are definitely. I think that's definitely the one thing they have struggled with, and I think that's probably the reason why those stats are like that.
Yeah, and you speak about how they've been close with some of the top teams in the league. Other than that 5-2 loss that they had recently against Yellowhead, they played in tight games with the Yellowhead and even beat them. We saw it here on ASTV earlier this year when they won 6-2. This is a team that played the Avers pretty close and only lost 6-4 to them, and they played, like you said, the top teams in this league close at times, and they've been able to show that. Looking at the goaltending side of things for this team, Trans and Kaylee Franz, what impressed you about them the most looking back at it in the 2021 portion of the schedule?
Yeah, they don't let goals get to their head. They're really resilient goaltenders. They're able to, goal goes in the net that they want back. They don't let it. They don't think about it too long. They don't let it. They don't let it hurt them, or they don't let it affect them. Really, they get right back on their horse. They stick with the fight. They stick in the game. Sometimes they're going to be getting outshot, quite not as they'll be getting outshot quite badly, and these goaltenders are in it to the end. I've just been very impressed with how resilient they've been and how well they've been able to stick with the fight, even when it seems a little like a little hopeless.
Now moving into the special teams for the Pembina Valley Hawks, looking at this power play, obviously we can't really go off percentages because there aren't any posted, right? But looking at it from what we've seen from this power play, we've seen them strike on the power play at times this season. Looking back at it, this girl advantage for the Pembina Valley Hawks, how it looked in 2021.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. I don't think as far as from what we've seen, it's been right around 50. Maybe it's been right around I'd say like to 20, maybe 20%. That's my guess for it. I don't know because we don't have the numbers for it. But yeah, even if they don't score, oftentimes they're moving the puck well. They're getting shots, and they're not. There's been other times where they've gone against great penalty kills, but for the most part, like they've been able to move the puck around, get a lot of shots, and I think it's been a very good power play for them so far this year.
Yeah, and I remember this one play. I believe it was, I think it was Abby Bordedwy who got the puck and faked the shot and then passed it off to Quinn McLaren, and Quinn ended up putting it in. That was just a thing of beauty, and going to be exciting to see, how this power play is going to improve in the new year in 2022, looking at how they'll continue to find success there. But, looking at the other side of special teams now on the penalty kill and looking at the stats so far this year, Seth, just got to pull them up right here on the MFHL's website. And in terms of the penalties that teams have taken, the Pembina Valley Hawks rank about 5th in penalty minutes taken in the league with 138. So middle of the pack, they, when they've been on the penalty kill. What have you noticed from this team when they've killed off their penalties?
Yeah, I really like their penalty kill. They're it's almost like they're not even worried that they have one less player on the ice. They play a similar style. Like when they dump pucks, they are still they got one player that's often really active on the forecheck, and yeah, there's I think their number one success for this penalty kill has been how aggressive they've been. It's been very hard for teams to really get that to get good shots off on this PK. They cover up. They force players to the outside lots. They're not really giving them any daylight through the middle, and it's just I think they've had an excellent PK so far this year, and I think it being aggressive has played a big part into its success so far.
Now, moving into this, Seth, obviously you've talked about the things that you've liked the most from this Pembina Valley Hawks team, from the forwards to the defense core to the goaltending to the special teams on power play and penalty kill. But from what we've seen so far, what would you say are probably the three biggest things that this team is going to need to clean up on the offensive side of things moving forward, heading into the new year, if they want to continue to find success, as they've already had a lot of success with 55 goals for third ranked in the league in that category?
Yeah, I kind of alluded to one of the reasons a little bit ago, but I think it's just starting the game out fast. There's been some times where they start a game and they've come out a little bit slow, and then the other teams have some of the other teams have really jumped on that, and we're able to get some offense in, and then when the Hawks do get the puck back a little bit later in the game, I remember with the game on Saturday, or I think Saturday, where they lost 5-2 last Saturday that we covered. They started to generate a lot of speed towards the end of the game, where they was already a little bit out of reach. The game was a little bit out of reach, and I think it was against Yellowhead. And I think if they would have started the game fast, I think they definitely would have been in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Those are definitely some things that they'll be looking to clean up heading into the new year. Just probably the biggest thing, like you've mentioned, is just starting games faster, not starting as slow. But what about on the defensive side of things? Like you already alluded to one of the things already. I feel like that also played a part into their offense as well that you mentioned. But talking about the three biggest things that you feel like this team is going to need to improve on defensively to find more success in that side of things, because like you mentioned, they do have the talent on the back end to succeed.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things when they're in the defensive zone is when they start to get hemmed in the zone a little bit. It's like I know when you get hemmed in the zone, you're often pretty tired, and then it's hard to get to your right assignment when you're pretty tired. But oftentimes, you'll see their wingers kind of lose one of the defenders when they get hemmed in the zone, and then it's just things kind of get a little bit messy, and their structure kind of breaks down a little bit once they get hemmed into their zone. I just think, if they were to work on their structure a little bit in the defensive zone, I think they'd have I think that it definitely would improve it definitely would make it some improvements if they were to fix that up. And this is a good defense core, defensive team. I genuinely think there isn't as many problems that they need to fix on this team. I think there's, a little bit of fine tuning here and there. And I think they got a good chance at doing some damage, and especially come playoff time.
Well, speaking of playoff time, I'll leave you with this, Seth. This last question that I'll ask you here on Seth's Inside Scoop for 2021. Playoffs are obviously still a ways away. There's still regular season to be played, but depending on where this team finishes, let's say they end up finishing in 5th place. Could you see this team going on a potential championship run if it all comes together for them?
Yeah, I do. I genuinely think this team does have a chance. We've seen them play good against some of the better teams in this league. We know they can compete with these teams. It's just, like I said before, a little bit of fine tuning here and there, and I think they definitely have a chance to make a run. I'm definitely a believer.
Well, there you have it, Seth. Full believer in this Pembina Valley Hawks team, a team that I know he loves to watch anytime that he, we got a chance to here on ASTV. But Seth, it's been awesome getting to do your segment, having you on here on Coffee with Graeme. Since we've started it here pretty recently in 2021, even though, we've also done quite a few Seth's Inside Scoops. So I want to thank you for coming on every Thursday evening and doing this. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and the best to, you and your family this holiday season. We'll see you in 2022.
Yeah, thank you so much, Graeme. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's to you and everyone that watches us.
Seth Rach, the main man on Seth's Inside Scoop for one final time here in 2021 on Coffee with Graeme. And Seth Rach, like mentioned many times, final time he's joining his segment, Seth's Inside Scoop, here in 2021 on Coffee with Graeme. Coming up after the commercial break, I'll be speaking to another player in the MFHL, number 5 team captain of the Winnipeg Ice. Maia Ehmann joins the show to talk about her season so far, a bit about her history with the Winnipeg Ice, going back to her rookie season where she won MFHL Rookie of the Year, as well as the past week-of games for the Winnipeg Ice to finish off their 2021 portion of their schedule. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. 2 guests down, 1 guest to go here in the show tonight, and who was joining Coffee with Graeme. Who's joined me first off was Brady Whitely, number 26 defenseman of the St. James Jr Canucks in the MMJHL. And secondly, most recently, Seth Rach, the man on Seth's Inside Scoop, joined the show to talk about the 2021 portion of the Pembina Valley Hawks U18 AAA female season in the MFHL. And joining me here now on the show, going to switch up the background in just a moment to show the team she plays for, is Maia Ehmann, number 5 team captain of the Winnipeg Ice in the MFHL. Maia, great to have you on the show. Excited to do this. I know that you just got off of practice, pretty tired, I assume, but thanks so much for coming on and joining the show here tonight. How are you doing?
Good, yourself? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And I'm doing good, ready for the holiday season to start. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be good to sit back and, clear the mind a bit. But I'm assuming that you guys are going to be taking this time during the winter break to be doing the same thing during this Christmas break, to just unwind and reflect on the season you guys have had so far.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it'll be. A little bit of rest and then back at it next week.
Yeah, for sure. Right back at it next week is something that you got to love to hear. Just looking at your season so far here, Maia, you're top 3 in points in the MFHL. You got 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points in 19 games played. You're 3rd in the league in points, top 10 in goals, 4th in assists. Just talk about, what it's been like this season, being able to go out and put up pretty solid numbers so far.
Yeah, it's been really good. We got a pretty young team, so it's awesome to have the opportunity to play with a bunch of new kids that I've never met before except for this year. And it's been awesome. Yeah, getting to know the girls, and I think our team's been off the ice and on the ice working really well together.
Yeah, and 10 new players to this year's Winnipeg Ice team. Of course, the 2 seasons you got to play with them before, you guys were a pretty experienced group together, but this year a bit different. What's that been like, being a leader on this team this season, just being able to bond with this new group of girls?
Oh, yeah, it's been really awesome. All the new girls have been super excited and super, happy to be there. And it's been really easy to get to know all of them. They've been all super, open to making new friends, new connections. And I think everyone's just gone along really well. So
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and great for you that you got to be named team captain in your senior season with the Winnipeg Ice this year. Talk about what that feeling was like when you received the C on this year's team.
Yeah, it was pretty special. Just knowing that the coaches had that belief in you to be able to lead a team, something that means a lot.
You've had a bunch of success this year. You had success last year in the short amount of games you guys were able to play. But going back to your rookie season, coming in on this team as a rookie, putting up 28 points in 28 regular season games, a point per game player, and winning MFHL Rookie of the Year in 2019-2020. Go back to that time, what that was like, being recognized for your great play in your rookie season by being named the best rookie in the league, winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that was a good group of girls we got to play with that year. They all really welcomed me real quick, and I really felt part of the team just from the moment that I got there, and it was really awesome to play with them. They all knew what they were doing. They all let me know, how to play at that level and get used to it. So it was a good transition.
You played with a lot of, great leaders on the team, a lot of great vets on the team that year, especially, looking back to last year as well. You guys were a pretty experienced team, obviously being a younger team, a less experienced team this year. But just talking about those experiences you've had to play with the players you played with, develop in Eugene Kaminsky's system. Talk about the player you are this year compared to when you started in the MFHL.
Yeah, no, I've definitely changed a lot. Thanks to you, she's helped me lots over the years. Just kind of being more comfortable with my game and kind of knowing what are my strengths and weaknesses and being able to build off that. And just playing more games in the league, you get a lot more comfortable with it and get much more used to the pace of play and stuff.
Where would you say that your game this season and your final year in the league and your senior year has taken probably the biggest step in terms of improvement?
I think I've just been more comfortable, taking the time to make a play rather than just throwing the puck away and rushing it. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, That's great to hear. Great to know that you've been able to develop and be a more comfortable player out there and been able to do some really great things out there this season. And, your talent was recognized by Hockey Manitoba, getting named to Team Manitoba's U18 team this year, playing in the Western Regional Women's U18 Championship back in November. Talk about what that experience was like to play with not only the best U18 female players in Manitoba alongside you, but going up against some of the best U18 players from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and BC as well.
Yeah, it was like a pretty big deal to make that team and be able to play with those girls, the best in the province, all together on one team. Some girls that I had like grown up playing spring with or played past years, and one more time get to play with them before we all go our separate ways next year. So it was awesome, and to see the talent and skill that the other provinces have as well, it was just awesome experience and get used to that faster pace of play for years to come.
So, from what I've been hearing, from what you just said, making this team was a special moment for you. How much work did you put in, going into the training camp that they had, the selection process, and to making that Team Manitoba team?
Yeah, it was a pretty quick process. You kind of get the email that you're going to the top 40 camp, and you just kind of have been working all summer to, try to be at the best shape of your life and best possible player you can get. And then you go to the camp, you just work as hard as you can for those 3 days, and then, on the team. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you guys didn't get the result you wanted. You guys won one game. You guys lost in the bronze medal game to Team Saskatchewan, but a lot of good learning experiences that a player like yourself and many others could take out of this. Just since you came back from that time, playing with Team Manitoba in Portage la Prairie back in November, how you found that your game has benefited from that experience, the experience that you took away from that tournament.
Yeah, no, I definitely learned a lot from that week. I've been able to make different plays now. I kind of see the ice a bit differently from what the coaches taught you there. And, it's been helpful. I've been able to share my experience with my teammates and try to give them pointers if I can and vice versa. So it's been good.
Yeah, just something a great leader is able to do. Use her past experiences to help benefit her team, a younger Winnipeg Ice team than you played with in your past 2 seasons. Going into the regular season now, you guys are 4th place at the end of 2021, 10-7-2 on the year, 47 goals for, which is 5th ranked in the league for 5th most, and 38 goals against, which is ranked 3rd least given up in the league so far. Talk about, what it's been like this season to be able to have success first and foremost in the defensive zone like you guys have been able to.
Yeah, no, it just goes back to our goalies, Jordan and Laura. Those two have been really great this year. They've been keeping us in the game every game. I mean, last night against Avers, I think they had like over 50 shots on us, and Laura really kept us in it. So definitely would not be anywhere near 3rd in least goals given up without those two. And, our D and our forward, or just D zone as a whole, has grown so much over the past couple of months with everyone learning the new systems and being comfortable with their games now at the higher level. So it's been helpful for us.
Yeah, and you've had a chance to play with 2 great goaltenders in Morgan Baker in your first 2 years, as well as Rylan Lupke. Just to see these 2 rookie goaltenders come in and do what they've been able to do this season. How, you've talked about it before in this interview just recently, how impressive it's been, but how truly impressive it's been to just, be on the ice and watch what they've been doing and sit back on the bench and watch it as well.
Yeah, it's just awesome to see them play their game so well, and you can just see it in practice. They both work so hard and just getting as good as they can, getting comfortable with everything, and it really pays off in the game. So really happy for them.
You guys haven't put up as many goals for it as other teams, right? You guys are about middle of the pack in that statistic at 47 goals for. But talk about, the way this offense has been able to go out and produce the way you guys have been able to so far this year.
Yeah, no, we've at times struggled to put the puck in the back of the net, but I think definitely over the past month or so, we've gotten a lot more comfortable with each other. Our line mates, we've kind of been able to push the puck up the ice and try to get more shots and generating more scoring chances in the middle. So I think that a lot of the rookies are getting a lot more comfortable with that as well. So it's awesome to see.
Talk about the special teams. I assume that you've had a chance to play on power play and PK. I'm just taking a shot out of the dark there, but talk about the special teams for this team this year. How you guys have been able to capitalize on the girl advantage as well as kill off penalties too.
Yeah, we've been working a lot on our special teams over the last couple months, and although it might not be exactly where we want to be so far, we've definitely made a lot of progress, especially on our power play and PK, with everyone getting a lot more comfortable in the systems and stuff. I think we got a couple power play goals in the last couple of games, which is good for us. And I think our penalty kill has definitely gotten a lot better, I've noticed, over the past couple of games, so that's really beneficial for us as a team.
Yeah, no doubt. It's great to know that those areas of the game are getting a lot better as you guys are getting more familiar with the systems out there that are being ran on the power play, the formation you set up on it, as well as the strategy on the penalty kill. So you play both power play and penalty kill, I'm assuming?
Power play, yeah. Penalty kill.
Just power play, just penalty kill sometimes. Talk about, how you've been able to do out there on the power play so far, just the skill set that you brought into that unit.
Yeah, I definitely try to work as hard as I can on the power play to try to facilitate for my teammates and give them the best opportunities to make plays and score goals. But I can definitely improve a lot. We've been working together every practice, trying to click a bit more and find where each other is. But I know we moved Stephanie Jacob up to the point as a forward up there, and she's been a good QB for our power play and has that heavy shot that's been able to get a lot of shots on net and good high quality chances, which is awesome.
Talking about yourself a bit more. I mean, I'm interviewing you, so of course, but just talking about your game in the defensive side of things this season. The steps and improvements that you've made in your defensive game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've found over the past years that defensively is my biggest weak point in my game that I need to work as hard as I can to improve on. But I think this year I've been trying to focus a lot on just being in the right spot and trying to get sticks in lanes and get my body where I can in order to kind of just get in the way and keep people outside. So I think it's been working a bit better. So still working on it.
Moving into this past weekend and week of games for you guys. 6-2 win over the Eastman Selects on Saturday, 5-2 loss to the Yellowhead Chiefs on Sunday, and 3-1 loss to the Winnipeg Avers last night. But speaking of your offense, you had 4 goals in that game against the Eastman Selects. It was said that you were the first player in ice history to achieve that feat. Just talk about, what went right for you in that game to be able to pot the puck in the net, not only once, not only twice, not only 3 times, but 4 times in that game against Eastman.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky that game. Just some good bounces went my way and a couple of good shots, but really goes down to my teammates. I know Haley Braun had a bunch of nice passes to me that probably could have had 5 or 6 if I would have capitalized on a couple other ones. So it was pretty awesome to see my teammates moving the puck to me like that.
Yeah, awesome when you're able to have good teammates there for support to make good plays and for you to finish it off. And you know what they say, good bounces come to the good players out there, and you're definitely in that category, Maia. But looking at it, 5-2 loss against Yellowhead on Sunday against the Chiefs. The game was tied 1-1 heading into the third, and then Yellowhead put on 4 goals in that third period to move ahead and win that game 5-2. Talk about that third period. What exactly went wrong for Winnipeg Ice to give up 4 goals in that period?
Yeah, that was a tough one. We just felt we were in it all game. We thought we were keeping with them, and then kind of a few bad bounces in the third, and you're kind of down a couple, and then an empty netter, and just everything falls apart pretty quick. But I felt like we played a pretty strong game that day, and that we were in it most of the time. So I felt pretty good with that one.
Yeah, sometimes the bounces just don't go your way, and went Yellowhead's way this past Sunday. But the final game you guys played in 2021 against the crosstown rivals, the Winnipeg Avros, 3-1 loss last night against them. You guys were on the road for that game. You guys gave up 53 shots, but it was a close game. Of course, the goaltender for you guys having a fantastic game in that loss yesterday. But just talk about, what it was like going up against the Winnipeg Avs in that game, what they did so well to generate as many chances as they got.
Yeah, the Avs are always a tough team to play against. They've got really good systems in place and a lot of talented players, and it's always fun to play them as a kid from Winnipeg. As you know, like everyone on their team and everyone knows each other. We're all friends off the ice, but when you're on the ice, it's we just go for it. But yeah, they're able to facilitate a lot from the outside and just push the puck to the inside to get quick shots and chances. And luckily, Laura stood in her head yesterday and kept us in it for most of the game, so that was good.
Yeah, for sure. And always huge when you're able to have a goaltender that's able to do that in Laura. But, just getting your thoughts on the rivalry, of course, you know the players on the Avs very well, with you guys being from Winnipeg, most of the players on both teams. You guys were 1-2 in the league the season in 2019-2020 when you won Rookie of the Year. Of course, finals getting canceled due to COVID, and you guys probably maybe would have played each other in the finals last season with just how good you guys were, talent-wise on the roster. What it's been like for you just having that experience of experiencing this crosstown rivalry throughout your 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a bit lopsided for them over the past couple of years, but I think we made a lot of improvements over the past year and a half. So that's really good, and just I really love playing against them. I don't know what it is. Maybe just that I know all of them, or just the fact that the game's always everyone's there, everyone's out to watch. All the parents from both sides are just, and even like past players. I know yesterday a bunch of past players from both teams were there, home for Christmas. So it's pretty awesome to play them, and see your old friends. I know, like we all played with each other back when we were younger. So, and even spring or other teams. So we all train together in summer. We all like live near each other, go to school together. So it's awesome to see that on the ice and play against each other.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anytime two Winnipeg teams get together, most notably in this league, going to be a fun matchup to see for the fans for sure, just with you guys both being Winnipeg teams. But, heading into the 2022 portion of the season, obviously you guys are in a pretty good place right now, fourth place in the league with a 10-7-2 record. Definitely looking to improve on that and try to climb in the standings. What's going to be the biggest goal for you guys in terms of trying to get better in this upcoming 2022 portion of the schedule in the 2021-2022 season?
Yeah, I think we just got to push through and work together, stick together as a team. I think everyone on the team believes that we can do it and we can win some of these tough games. So just keep pushing, working hard in practice, giving it all we got, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah, and when you're able to have that belief, it can take you pretty far away. For you personally, with this being your last season with the Winnipeg Ice playing in the MFHL, what's going to be the one of the biggest goals for you heading into the latter half of the season here in 2022, looking for a strong finish to your season?
Yeah, I think just giving it all I got every game, and just I just want to work as hard as I can to bring as much success to this team as I possibly can over the next couple months. So see how it goes.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down in the 2022 part of the season, Maia. Thanks for coming on here for the first time on Coffee with Graeme. Great to get to talk to you, get to know you as a player and individual. I want to wish you, your family, the rest of the Ice family, a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. You take care and have a good one.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Merry Christmas.
You take care, Maia. And Maia Ehmann, the team captain, Mrs. Ice. Maybe we'll give her that nickname. I don't know. Comment a nickname for Maia down below. I think Mrs. Ice might be the right nickname for Captain Ice. Maybe. Two of those nicknames might suit her very well. I don't know if she'd agree on that, but great to have Maia Ehmann on the show here tonight on Coffee with Graeme, the final interview of the 2021 year here on Coffee with Graeme. Finished it off with a bang with a fantastic guest, and Maia Ehmann, team captain of the Winnipeg Ice in the MFHL. Not sure when that team will be up next in the schedule, for their schedule, because it hasn't been released yet by the MFHL, but I will definitely keep you guys updated on the new year when not only the Ice, but all the other teams will be in action in the MFHL for the new year of 2022. Also want to give you guys notice, of course, you guys saw in the description that this wasn't in this week's episode as well in the title, but no Hawks report this weekend. Not this weekend, this Thursday on the show, due to all their players being busy with holiday activities, being away for Christmas, as well as no Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy players joining the show tonight, as well as they are, it's pretty much the same thing, same as the Hawks, home for Christmas and too darn busy to do interviews, and that's fine with me. It's totally understandable. But coming up after the commercial breaks, for one last time here in 2021, I'll be back to give you guys some final words and a sign off here on this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after the break.
Welcome to Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot-Mound Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions, everybody. And of course, Maia Ehmann, number 5, team captain, Mrs. Ice, Captain Ice, whatever you want to call her, senior forward, and top 3 point getter in the MFHL at this point in the season, joined me on the show to talk about her season, the experience she had at the Western Regional Women's U18 Championship back in Portage la Prairie back in November, as well as the team this season, talk about her Rookie of the Year season a bit, what it meant for her to win that award, as well as, the past weekend of games and her game getting 4 goals against the Eastman Selects this past Saturday, the first player in Ice history to accomplish that feat of scoring 4 goals in a game. I want to thank Maia, along with Seth Rach on Seth's Inside Scoop, and Brady Whitley of the St. James Jr Canucks from the MMJHL. The MMJHL, for joining tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme. I want to also thank you, the viewer, for tuning into tonight's edition of the show, and I want to thank the proud sponsors here of Coffee with Graeme and ASTV Productions in AETi, Evolve Green, Caisse Financial Group, TOVI Hockey, and our great friends over at Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy for sponsoring another edition of Coffee with Graeme. So yeah, folks, I can't tell you when Coffee with Graeme will be returning next because I don't have the date off the top of my head of when the first Tuesday episode of Coffee with Graeme in 2022 will be, but I can assure you that I will be back here in 2022 again to continue bringing you guys interviews from athletes, coaches, and whoever else from the amateur sports world here in Canada and North America. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. I want to wish you all the safest of the holiday season, as well, the safest Christmas and the safest New Year. Stay safe out there, guys. That's always the thing I like to preach, because I want to make sure everyone is safe and in good health, especially during the holiday season, as it's a wonderful time of the year for sure. Crazy that it's flown by as well. I know that I say this a lot, that time flies by so fast, especially as the years have gone by, as I've gone older. For some reason, this year has flown by the quickest. One day I woke up, it was December 1st, And then I blink and then boom, we're here, December 23rd, 2 days away from Christmas. But I want to thank you all, the viewers, for tuning in to ASTV Productions for another year here in 2021. It's great that sports were able to be back and we were actually able to cover, recent events that have been going on instead of just talking about past seasons with nothing going on, at the start of 2021. But as 2021 picked up, it was a fantastic year here for us at ASTV Productions, for just how we grew as a company. And I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage I've been giving you guys throughout the past year on Coffee with Graeme. Finally started doing shows, regularly on Tuesday and Thursdays. Instead of the Tuesday episode only or Thursday episode only, or changing the date or not even having a show at all. That's something that I'm proud of myself for improving. Being able to give you guys coverage consistently on a week to week basis. Hopefully in 2022, I can pronounce my words better and not butcher any names. Of course, it's bound to happen, but hopefully we minimize that even more in 2022. But until then, folks, like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a Happy New Year. If you don't celebrate Christmas, that's all right too. You can, for sure have a wonderful holiday season, Christmas break, winter break, whatever you want to call it, even without celebrating Christmas. To all the hockey fans out there, if you are tuning into the World Juniors, the best time of the year for hockey, in my opinion, enjoy that tournament. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. The best U20s in the world going at it for the teams that are participating in that tournament. It all starts Boxing Day. But that's enough of me rambling, folks. For everyone here at ASTV Productions and for myself here on Coffee with Graeme, I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in to Coffee with Graeme and all the other shows here on ASTV Productions, and on to bigger and better things. I'll still be here, but on to, bigger and better things with Coffee with Graeme. We will be adding a lot more content in the new year, so stay tuned for that in 2022. But until 2022, folks, for one final time here in 2021, I've been your host of Coffee with Graeme, Graeme Forsyth, giving you the salute and giving you the peace out, signing off. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Have a wonderful winter break. Have a wonderful holiday and, holidays, and have a wonderful New Year as well. Stay safe. And until 2022, I'll see you then, folks. Peace out, everybody.